Hi, Dawn here from Enzo's, where it's not about the dog.
If you're new with us, we answer your questions on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. What's our question for today, Dawn?
Oh, this is a good one. Can my dog sleep in the bed with me?
Ooh,
This is a good one, you guys. This is super good. So I can't answer that. It's not a straightforward question. It depends on you. It depends on your dog. And the first thing I would ask you is you have to know your dog. When your dog is up on the bed, do they growl? Do they, well, I guess that's not even the first question. The first question is, do you want your dog to sleep in the bed with you? I think that's the first question, right? And I think we can have families where it can go either way. My husband personally would love his dog to sleep in the bed with us. Not so much, right? She's as big as me, if not bigger. And when she spreads out, it's the whole bed. We have a queen size bed and my husband's big. And what does it leave for me? So I say no. My husband says yes. How do we fix that problem? Right?
Right.
Yeah.
It goes deeper than the dog.
It goes deeper than the
dog. It's not about the
It's
dog. Imagine that.
Imagine that. So, Karen, I know you have this like exact.
I do. I have 4 dogs at home. I have 2 big dogs that do not sleep in the bed for that reason that you mentioned. It's not because of their personalities or anything. It's just because space is an issue.
Yeah.
They have their, one sleeps in a crate, one sleeps on the dog bed on the side of the bed. So each individual dog has where they sleep. That being said, that's the 2 big dogs. I have 2 small dogs. And one of them is my heart dog. This is where I'm going to talk about hierarchy, okay? She would never, ever, ever question her place in the pack. Mm-hmm. She sleeps under the covers, right on my side. I can move her. She moves over. I can take her out of the bed. She gets off the bed. There is never a question where she is in the pack. She is below me and she knows that this is my bed, not her bed. On the other hand, we have Gordo, who
Gordo
is a testament to, I don't know, to every issue a dog could possibly have. He has had it.
He's had it.
He's had it.
He's that dog.
So, if my husband this is my husband's dog, my husband wants him to sleep on the bed. So my husband calls him up on the bed every night. And even though I've said Gordo is not allowed to sleep on the bed, and the first night, Gordo's fine. No growls, no nothing, sleeps perfectly in bed. Second night, I roll over and my foot touches Gordo and he growls. And I tell him, hush, get off the bed. And he jumps off the bed. Good boy, okay? Mm-hmm. So third night, my husband invites him up on the bed and I roll over, he growls, I say, hush, get off the bed, and he bites me, okay? So this is the perfect example of the hierarchy of in a dog's mind. I've been invited up on this bed. Okay, I'll share it with you. First night. Second night, not quite so sure I want to share it with you. Third night, it's my bed. So this is the exact example Dawn was talking about is it depends upon the dog. Gordo cannot sleep in the bed.
Yeah.
He can't. He's going to end up biting somebody.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you have that dog, I call it the tester. Mm-hmm. And if I can have an inch, I'm going to take a mile.
Yep. So here's how you're going to determine it. If your dog is a rock star and can have, I call it 4 feet on the ground. If they don't need 4 feet on the ground and they can be at the same level as you and never have an issue, anybody can come in, anybody can do anything, and you want them to be in the bed, then for all means, sleep with your dog. If there's a question between you and your spouse, then I always say defer to the dog sleeping on the ground because the dog will understand that hierarchy, right?
Yep.
Darren wants Gordo in the bed. Karen doesn't.
And he bites me.
He bites Karen, right? He doesn't go after Darren because He's got Darren where he wants Darren, right? He's like, Darren knows me and Darren are buds. We can sleep together. It's this lady who's in the way. So making sure you understand that. If it's not 100%, then it's if it's not a yes, it's a no, right? So
that's a good point.
Right? If it's not a yes, it's a no. That's a really good one. I just came up with that.
Right? That's good.
Stuff just
So good.
goes in there. So should my dog sleep in the bed? I don't know. You got to determine that. But if your dog growls or has ever growled or does anything like that, then the answer is absolutely no. And it can be different. You can have 4 dogs and 1 can sleep in there and 3 can sleep on the ground. It is a hierarchy, and
the other dogs don't feel bad.
they don't. There's no feelings. They don't feel bad. They all know where their place is
Right.
in the pack. Let's be real. Now, for those of you who have gone through our programs, and we do say no dogs on the bed for the first 30 days, it's just because we're trying to create that structure in your house, right? So don't go and throw this video back at me and say, well, Dawn said, nope, this is after your 30. So if you have taken your dogs home, for anybody who's struggling, if you've taken your dogs home and you want your dog to sleep in the bed, just give it 30 days because you're resetting everybody's clock, right? And if you're not sure, then give it 30 days. Have your dog sleep out of the bed for 30 days, reset that dog and bring them back up and see how they do and see how you do, right? I think that's a good.
Perfect.
I don't know. Does my dog do that? Start with 30 days, you guys. Okay, so I hope we answered that question.
That's all we have for you today.
Good, and
Don't-
remember, shoot.
And don't forget to send in your questions.
No, do not forget that. And remember, it's not about the dog.